Animenz is a pianist and piano arranger of anime music. And 2 years ago now, I made some reactions to Animenz knowing nothing about anime music at all. And since then, pretty much nothing has changed. I still don't know anything. But today, I'm going to react to one of Animenz's arrangements that I didn't react to back then, which is Merry-Go-Round of Life by the composer Joe Hisaishi, who I have heard of. So let's get into it. Very interesting. This is in G minor, I think, which is the notes G, A, B flat, C, D, E flat, and F, but it can sometimes have an F sharp. When I listen to any piece of music, the first thing I try and do is work out which scale it's using. Because if you know the scale the piece of music is using, then you pretty much know the chords that the piece of music is going to be using. That's actually really nice. So far, this is all following a pretty conventional pattern. You've got kind of maybe E flat major, 7, then D major, and then G minor, then C minor, F major, a B flat major, and then it does something weird because you get like an E diminished chord or an E to half diminished, so, and then A major, and then D, but then the bass note sinks. So it's something like I mean, it's close enough for jazz. I might as well get the playing in now, because knowing Animenz is probably going to get much more difficult to work out by ear very soon. I mean, it's just largely unnecessary, isn't it, really? The actual tremolo is not that difficult. It becomes a lot more difficult when you're trying to jump from note to note quick enough. I mean, without having to put some serious practice into that, I think I'd probably fall apart after 30 seconds. The good thing is, this is all a pretty standardized chord structure, so once you know the chords, you can actually do quite a lot on the piano with it. For example, if you know that you're playing kind of E flat, D, G, C minor, F, B flat, etc., then you could play it super simple. Or you could do what Animenz usually does, which is make it incredibly complicated. I appreciate the Chopin-esque waltz vibe that he's going for. Although I think I probably have heard the original version of this piece before, I couldn't tell you what that sounds like in terms of style, so I don't know whether it is in a waltz kind of sound in the first place. And now, because he's doing an intermezzo version, I'm assuming this is going to be more Brahmsy, maybe? That sounds like Gloria Gaynor, I Will Survive. I somehow think he's not going to do that, though. Just a quick interruption to let you know that on Wednesday, the 22nd of April, I am opening a brand new community called The Practice Room. The community is for piano learners who want to share progress, get feedback, find other piano learners, and ask me questions directly. If that sounds of interest to you, then you can join the waiting list with the link in the description. And everyone on the waiting list will have the chance to join at a discounted price before it opens to everyone else. I'm also working on some extra resources exclusively for members, including, for example, a searchable database full of popular pieces with exactly what difficulty level those pieces are, exactly what challenges that piece has, and will help you develop. I will also be making all of the Piano Practice Daily articles that feature within my videos available to members. So if that sounds of interest to you, then feel free to join the waiting list with the link in the description. Okay, back to the video. Yeah, it's interesting. So he's doing a scherzo now, and he's kind of using the circle of fifths. That's essentially where you go down 5 notes at a time. So you get like a G, you go down 5 notes to C, and then you go down 5 notes, which is an F, and then down 5 notes to B flat. That's used quite a lot in songs like Fly Me to the Moon, for example. And a lot of other jazz standard type of pieces, they always use the circle of fifths. So kind of interesting that he chose to use it in this context. I mean, his piano sounds so nice. So Dolcissimo, which is what this section is, means very sweet. Interestingly, he's still gone for a much thicker texture though. I think if I was trying to play really sweet, I would try and pare it down even more, but I don't know whether it's because he doesn't want to sacrifice the difficulty of the arrangement. The thing is with all of Animenz's arrangements is that they are very, very well written, but they are clearly intended to be physically challenging and technically challenging to play. Whereas if he did something like... although it would be much less technically demanding to play and much less technically challenging. For me, personally, I think that adds more to the sweetness. So if you're really going for Dolcissimo, then does that require it to be less technically demanding? I don't know, you'll have to let me know in the comments. I mean, it's incredibly played and incredibly well written. He's a very, very comfortable player. Now, obviously, he's written this beforehand and practiced it, so he knows what the notes are. Although, it also would definitely not surprise me if he's kind of making up bits to work around the chords he's got. But I think he just looks incredibly relaxed and comfortable when he's playing something that is quite difficult. That was kind of an interesting chord to finish on. So at the end of that piece, he was in E major. He'd changed key. So this is where it felt like it was going to finish. And then he just kind of throws in a random one of these, which makes it feel more like the piece is unresolved and like it's suspended in midair. Kind of an interesting choice. I think with all anime music and with a lot of Joe Hisaishi's compositions, they all have that kind of wondrous sound to them because anime in itself is supposed to be, I don't know, it's supposed to be almost otherworldly, right? I mean, I have no idea, but that's what I assume. So maybe by finishing on that, it creates that kind of ethereal quality to it, that otherworldliness. But yeah, Animenz is of course a great player, and all of his arrangements that I've seen are incredibly good. If you want to see my previous reaction to Animenz, then head on through, and I will see you there.